Hello and welcome to today's episode of SportsCasters. This is episode 3 of SportsCasters Media. I'm the founder and CEO, Chris Lyles Jr., and I would like to personally thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Enjoy.
Yeah, I am the king of the E. Hey, get it like the DJ. Yeah.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to week 3 of Sportscasters. I am your host, Emma Houghton, and of course, we are joined today by our two analysts, Sterling Harris and Matthew Anderson, and we are especially lucky this week to be joined by 4 players from the University of South Carolina. We have number 12, tight end, redshirt freshman Traevion Kenion. Number 7, wide receiver, a redshirt sophomore, Dakereon Joyner. A junior, number 53, middle linebacker, Ernest Jones. And a recent graduate, former offensive lineman, number 61, Cameron Johnson. So, guys, thank you all so much for being here. How are you doing today?
We're doing good.
Pretty good.
Great.
Awesome. We're super excited to get into some content here. This show is brought to you by our new sponsor, Rel's Revenge. And we're going to run through about 3 topics today. The first one, Cameron, I'll start with you. Obviously, this whole coronavirus pandemic has altered the entire sports landscape. Let's focus on college athletics. What are your thoughts on athletes returning? Do you think that is the right thing to be doing? Should fall sports be resuming at all? And then as the second part of that question, what are your thoughts on athletes being paid?
I personally feel, of course, we should do it safe. But, at least they're giving athletes the option. If they want to play, they are able to play. But if they don't want to play, they don't have to. They will end up getting their year back. But, personally right now, I feel like the safer route could be taken and maybe just move the season maybe to the spring or something like that just to keep everybody safe, just to see what happens. But at the same time, I understand giving an option to play or not to play. So, I think that's a decent route, in my opinion.
Dakereon, do you agree?
Yeah, I can kind of piggyback off of what Cam said. But as far as us returning back to the campus, I think the NCAA and our staff is kind of taking the right precautions and bringing us back. I believe they are, I guess, they're taking right precautions, making sure we're safe. Continuing practicing the social distancing part of it. But I feel iffy about kind of pushing the season back, only because I think coronavirus isn't going to go anywhere. I think they may need more time to plan accordingly in terms of travel, and stuff like that, and who we play and whatnot. But other than that, I can kind of agree with Cam said as well about us having an option to play. So if you don't feel safe with playing, you don't have to play. And you have your year back. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a guy that goes home a lot, goes back to see your parents a lot. You don't want to take that back to your family. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Ernest, going off what Dakereon said, do you have any fears going into the season?
I wouldn't really say I have fear. I do have concerns as far as how would they be able to manage how you could go over and play another team and potentially affect that team if they don't have any cases or stuff like that. I'm also concerned about as far as if the players who do catch the virus or whatnot and have to quarantine, what's the game limit? Like, how many games do you have to miss? Or if your roommate gets it, do you have to miss games because of them? I feel like that's important, especially if you have upperclassmen roommates who this is their, last year. So do you force their last year, or do you kind of just see how it goes and see how it plays out? So those are kind of some of my concerns.
Yeah, so Trey, with all these question marks and confusion, do you think all of these fears bring into light the idea of college pay anymore? What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like it's definitely something to think about. I honestly feel like college athletes should be paid because this is a job. It is a job to be out here every day doing, because we're working every day. It's no breaks, all work. So in the pandemic, with all this going on, I feel like being paid is just something that's just the right thing to do. So we have a lot of things thrown at us. We're young. So I feel like not being paid and going through this at the same time is just – it's not the right thing. But, this is what we signed up for. So it's kind of like Cam said, we had the choice to go home and be with our families, and we have the choice to stay and play. We know what comes with both of them. So that's our choice.
Yeah, and Matt and Sterling, hearing all of this athlete perspective from guys who will potentially be on the field, what are your thoughts about both the fears of COVID and also the pay debate?
So when it comes to college sports returning, I would like to see them return, but a contact sport like football, you need to make sure there's definitely a plan. You don't want to have a situation where guys are playing and the COVID just getting spread, and it goes throughout a whole team, because now we have a whole team full of guys that are potentially sick, and we don't even know too much about the virus. We're learning new stuff about it every day. And then so about college athletes getting paid, I definitely think that should happen. I think next year starts the year where you'll be able to get like endorsements for like local businesses and stuff. But if you're going to have to play during COVID, I think they should go ahead and add that this year. I don't know how they would do it, but they got to come up with a plan.
Yeah, to go off of that, there's just so much uncertainty with this virus. You don't really know how it's going to affect a certain team. I think in the Big Ten, the way they got it set up right now is like if a guy gets COVID, he's out for 2 weeks automatically. So if we're in an 8-week schedule, that's a huge blow. That's your best player. Let it be Justin Fields that's out 2 weeks. You might as well say, how's he going to the playoffs? So there's so much going on with this virus, and with college pay coming into play, I think students should have been paid. I think it's ridiculous Reggie Bush doesn't have a Heisman Trophy because of some money. It had nothing to do with him on the field at all. So I think they should have been paid. This is what they do with that money and how they store it for post-college instead of just blowing it while they're in college.
Yeah. Regarding the COVID debate, the one thing we can definitely agree on is the uncertainty and how quickly plans are changing. And on the pay side, I think we can all agree that the work and the time and the effort and the success that these athletes are bringing to the school definitely warrants some financial gain on their part. So let's transition to the NBA, a debate that I know we're all really excited to talk about. And Ernest, we'll start with you. Who do you believe is the greatest of all time in basketball?
See, for me, this is kind of hard. Because if you think on it, for me, statistical-wise, it's hard to argue against LeBron James. Because, I mean, in every category, he's ahead of his competition. But for me personally, if I had to just choose, I would probably go with Kobe. That's who I would go with.
Dakereon, you're having a visceral reaction to that response. Go ahead.
I'm thinking in terms of basketball. I'm Kobe.
Man, listen. We watched LeBron play. You feel what I'm saying? I don't even want nobody to say Jordan because we ain't seen Jordan play. I know we watched The Last Dance, but that ain't what it's about. But like Ernest said, I mean, clear as day, statistically proven, LeBron James is the best player to ever play the game. You know what I'm saying? But on top of that, Kobe got I think 3 more years right now ahead of LeBron. LeBron probably still got 6 more years in the tank. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like it's statistically proven. You talk about a man, body size, can play every position, can guard every position. I think Bron got it.
Trey, you're not going to give anything to Jordan here?
Man, no. I'm not giving nothing to Jordan. I'm sorry. LeBron James is the greatest of all time. I've never second-guessed it. I've never been like Michael Jordan is better. It's always been LeBron. He's dominant in everything he does. He's a man amongst anybody, little boy. He takes over when he's on the court. And you can see it. Every time he gets on the court, he takes over.
Cam, you agree?
I'm gonna have to agree. I mean, personally, I just think, of course, they'll say, well, y'all don't know because y'all didn't grow up watching Jordan and things like that. But I personally feel like I don't watch a lot of basketball growing up. And when you look at LeBron in terms of a player who, from scoring to playing defense to IQ, I mean, when you add all aspects of the game, like not just the stuff they do on the court, but as being a leader, different things like that, I just feel like LeBron James has separated himself from most players. And don't get me wrong, Michael Jordan is great. If you say he's the GOAT, I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at that. But just my personal opinion, I think it is LeBron James because of everything that he brings to the game.
Sterling and Matt, I'm hoping you're going to change the tide here and go towards Jordan.
Sterling, you go first, bro.
I love LeBron James. He's a great man on the court, off the court. You know, he got everything going for him. You know, he's in the bubble. But Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
No.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan is something I think he's still, I think, the only man with 3 3-peats in a row. You know, you can count the baseball season or not. That's an amazing feat. People say he played the Jazz. They won 66 games. All they do is win 4 more, and they would have been champions. But you could say Michael Jordan stopped probably 2 dynasties within his time in the basketball world. And then with LeBron James, I just can't get over the 2011 series with the Dallas Mavericks. I cannot let that go with his 4 points in the fourth quarter self. I can't do it. I'm sorry. We never saw that from Jordan. I can't do it.
So I have to step in on that one because you say the founder has to come in. Okay, so you say that, you know, he has these 3-peats, has all these accolades, this and that. Don't get me wrong. Michael Jordan is a phenomenal player. I won't take nothing away from him. But when you look at as overall as far as what he had to become, in my personal opinion, I feel like Phil Jackson played a lot into what Michael Jordan was and what he became. Who did LeBron have?
Nobody.
Exactly, my point. LeBron had nobody. The closest he probably had to a good, I'm not going to say decent, I'm going to say good coach, was Eric Spoelstra. And, you know, Tyronn Lue is decent. But as far as a good coach, as far as compared to Eric Spoelstra to Phil Jackson, come on now. I mean, when you look at the embodiment of a player and what he can do, I feel like this. I put it like this. If you were to put Michael Jordan on the bummiest team ever, yeah, he could give you 40. But can they win that 6-peat? Nah, I don't believe it. I don't think if you put Michael Jordan on the worst team in the NBA at that time, that he would have got you that 6-peat. Now, it has been proven that if you put LeBron on the sorriest team, hint, Cleveland Cavaliers, he gonna get you to the finals. It has been proven ever since he has been in the league. So, and then going to Kobe, Ernest, I gotta get you, bro. You said Kobe. No disrespect to Kobe, man. No disrespect to him. However, when you talk about the GOAT, you talk about someone who changed the game. Kobe is a spitting image of Jordan. Only difference is just a different generation. So when you look at Jordan and when you look at LeBron, those two individuals changed the game to how can we stop this guy? All teams had to do was just watch Jordan and you can stop Kobe. It's the same thing. So with LeBron, it's not so much as, you know, how can we stop him, but just the way that they changed the game. And that's how I look at, you know, the GOAT. Not taking anything away from these players, you know, RIP Kobe. But when I look at, you know, somebody who embodied the game and can do it without any kind of help, besides the Miami Heat for LeBron, but can do it without any kind of help, I mean, I got to give LeBron. Matt, go ahead, man.
Yo, so I entered this thing saying I was going to say Jordan, but actually I'm going to go ahead and rock with LeBron. I like your argument whenever you talked about LeBron with Jordan on that team that LeBron was with, like with the Cavaliers. I don't know if he would have made it. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it up. I have my notes prepared to cut y'all up about the Jordan thing, but I'm going to go with LeBron now.
Rising turn of events there. Sterling, I want to give you the last word in this debate because you've been severely outnumbered here.
Well, man, when y'all bring up Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson and how LeBron had to play with the bummiest Cavs team, we can think about Matthew Dellavedova was his second leading scorer, I think, in 2015 finals. But when we're talking about LeBron, like we talk about Jordan and y'all talk about what he did. Y'all do know there was a time where Jordan sat out half a season and they were, I think, there was a bunch under 500, and they came back and they didn't make the 500, but they made the playoffs. He averaged 37 in 1 year when he had nobody on his team. With Scottie Pippen catching a migraine, air quotes, in the Game 7 of the Pistons Eastern Finals, he still put on a great show. And blame Jordan for having a coach. I don't think that's Jordan's fault. We could blame LeBron for not having a coach because he want to throw at everybody he get. So, I mean, Luke Walton lasted 1 year. David Blatt, 1 year. When Coach Spo was coaching them, all of a sudden Pat Riley got to come coach from the managing box. Like, why can't you try to fit best with your coach? Why you always got to get your own coach? You got Ty Lue. As soon as Luke Walton's done, can we get Ty Lue in here? So, I mean, I don't blame Jordan for LeBron's coaching defaults. Like, I can't get mad at Jordan and put that on him and say, well, LeBron had no coach. Kind of chose not to have a coach.
All right, well, we will leave it here. You're getting some head scratches and some –
That's a part two.
That's a part two for sure. But talking about GOATs, let's move to a GOAT in a different sport. Breaking news today, 54-year-old Mike Tyson is making a comeback. The heavyweight champion who hasn't appeared since 2005 will fight Roy Jones Jr. in September. Trey, we'll start with you. What was your initial reaction when you heard this news?
I was just it's about time. You see him on Instagram going crazy about to knock his trainer out. So I'm ready to see this. I'm ready to see what he's gonna do. Because if he go in there and get knocked out, it's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be real sad for him because he got a lot of people on his side, but he's still an old man at the same time. So I'm definitely ready for this fight. Definitely will be key to it.
54 years old. Cam, how much, like Trey said, how much do you think those videos that Tyson was posting of himself just looking absolutely jacked, how much do you think that played into this decision and the fan response here?
Based on how the videos look, I'm not surprised that he's about to fight again. I hope he is as good in this match as he looks in the videos. Because I mean, if he is to get knocked out, the world is gonna go crazy for sure. if he get knocked out, it's gonna be crazy. But I highly doubt he will. I highly doubt it.
With that being said, Ernest, what can we expect from Tyson in this fight?
I'm not sure. See, I'm a boxing fan. I've watched a good bit of boxing fights. And Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., those are two hitters. They slug it out. So it's gonna be exciting to see this fight. If they're they're probably not gonna be anything like they used to be. But from Mike Tyson's Instagram videos, he still looks like he has it. So it could be a quick night for Roy Jones Jr. and vice versa for Mike Tyson.
Yeah, and Dakereon, what do you think this fight, does it play into Tyson's GOAT status? Do you think if he comes out as a winner, it solidifies his GOAT status? What are your thoughts on that?
No, I definitely did that now. I think we all know who the greatest fighter of all time is with no argument. But I mean, it's kind of piggybacking on what Ernest said. I think it'll be a quick fight. You know what I'm saying? Because both fight older. They haven't fought in a long time. No matter how much in shape they think they are, they old and they won't last long. You know what I'm saying? So I think the fight can go either way. I'm definitely a Mike Tyson fan. I agree with what Trey and Cam also said. The way on Instagram, you know what I'm saying. But then again, you can't judge a book by its cover because he's fighting the bag. You know what I'm saying? It's totally different when shots get the flying and you know what I'm saying. So I think it'd be a very interesting fight to see.
Yeah, definitely. And Matt and Sterling, we'll go to you guys now. What were your initial thoughts? And is there anybody who's going to watch this fight who isn't going to be rooting for Mike Tyson?
I feel like everybody's rooting for Mike Tyson. I knew whenever he made that post and said the gods of war have reawakened me, I knew it was coming. I'm just thinking about the money's got to be made from promoting this. I don't know if they're going to give it all to charity because I heard somebody say something about that. There's going to be some serious money being passed out just for everybody's involved. So look for hopefully Tyson get the win because otherwise I'm not going to say it's going to tarnish his record, but people can definitely be like, dang, man, came back and was old and ended up losing.
You see
yeah.
athletes, yeah. Sterling, go ahead. Finish us out.
Yeah, off of that, I'm just happy to see Mike Tyson happy again in a boxing setting. Because I think the last time he's recently talked about in interviews how, he kind of lost his love for boxing just because of the guy he was when he was a boxer. So to see him come back and get in such phenomenal shape, it looked ridiculous. And you're ready to fight in the exhibition match. I think it's great for him, just for him personally. Like, it's an awesome thing.
Yeah, definitely. So that wraps up our 3 main topics, but we want to end episode 3 today with a little teaser. So I'm going to poll each of you guys in maybe a sentence or 2, as quick as you can, as few words as possible. Trevor Lawrence, the possible Heisman favorite this upcoming college football season, just proposed to his fiancée, Marissa Mowry. Do you see, Dakereon, we'll start with you. Do you see a trend, and maybe why do you see this trend happening of male college athletes proposing to their fiancé?
I wouldn't say a trend, only because I'm not in their relationship. Trevor's my boy. I know him and his fiance have been together since high school. But that's kind of hard for me to talk on because I'm a single man. You know what I'm saying? That has been in a relationship for years. You know what I'm saying? And you have a lot of females that I'm gonna shut up real quick. You have a lot of females that have been with these athletes from when they were nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I think the guys on that end are kind of giving the girls what they deserve. I just hope they're doing it for the right reason and not the trend. Not saying Trevor is, but I know a couple guys that have proposed to their girlfriend, now fiancé. But I just wish them the best. And hey,
yeah, that's a great point. Ernest, do you agree? Do you see a trend, or do you not see a trend?
I don't believe it's a trend. I just feel like I really don't know. I guess they feel like it's the best thing for them in their relationship. They're going out into these next steps of their lives where there's more money than what they came from. So I feel like it's a more sense of comfortability, being able to propose and having everything else kind of aligned financially. So I think that goes into a big part of it with them going in.
Trey, your thoughts?
Honestly, I feel like it's not a trend. I feel like if you love someone and you've been with someone, I feel like whenever you feel the right time is, that's the right time. And a lot of people, they're leaving, they're about to go off to the NFL, and they want their fiance to feel like I'm still committed to you. I love you. I want to be with you. So they showed them that that's what they want. So they marry him. So because the NFL, that's a big step. So a lot comes with that. A lot of people that want you just because you're in the NFL come with that, and you showing your girlfriend, now fiance, that you want her. I feel like that's showing her that you really love her and that's what you want to do.
Yeah, and Cam, what do you think about what Trey just said about that show of love?
Yeah, I agree. I don't really feel like it's a trend. I just feel like, it's a personal decision. If that's somebody who's been in your corner and, you love them and you feel like they've been for you through everything, even when you weren't as big as you are now, you feel that you should make that decision. And personally, I'm fine with that. But at the same time, I don't have a girlfriend like Dakereon said. So, I don't really know how it is, but at the same time, I feel like that's a personal decision. And if you feel like that's right, then you should do what's right. And that's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. So Matthew and Sterling, we have a pretty unanimous decision here that it's personal. Do we think that the virtual NFL draft had any say in this? And do you guys think that it's also a personal decision and not a trend?
Yeah, I think it's a case-by-case basis. Deion said about the draft thing, Deion said keep your girlfriend and whatever off the camera. Because you saw sometimes the mothers having to pull the girlfriends off. And then, oh boy, what's that, CD Lamb, like the whole flipping the phone situation. but it's definitely a case-by-case basis. And if you can rock with them for a minute and you want to keep it going, might as well, right?
Yeah, I think it just depends on the person. I think personally for them, their biggest thing is when they're about to go to the league, or whether that's football, basketball, whatever, is they want to set a foundation for who they're going to have in their home. When they buy that big home, that's going to be their foundation. Who they're going to have to, I'm going to be at work, basically. I ain't going to be able to see it every day. If I miss this weight, I'm going to get fined by my team. I ain't going to pay for nothing. Like, they need that one person to be in their corner that they can know and trust, especially before they have to become a big college star. Usually when they before they become a big college star, they find that person. I think that's the person usually that gets the ring because like I was on the bench now I'm starting and now I want to everybody's want to come at me, but you was with me from the jump. So I feel like just setting that foundation for them is the biggest thing.
Yeah, foundation is a good way to put it. And I think we can all agree that they're all nice, heartwarming stories to latch onto too, which brings us nicely into our final minutes here talking about sports for everyone. Dakereon, Cam, Ernest, Trey, thank you guys so much for being here. Matthew and Sterling, as always. Once again, this show was brought to you by Rel's Revenge. And make sure to keep tuning in to SportsCasters, Sports for Everyone. Guys, thanks so much. And we'll talk to you all soon.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate you having me.
Sure.
This podcast is brought to you by Rel's Revenge, where revenge meets sport. Stay tuned next week for more on SportsCasters. See you soon.
Tell us why. Yeah, I am the king of the E. Hey, get it through like the DJ. Yeah, I am the